So, folks, to bring it home with our closing ceremony, I'd now like to invite any members of the conference reference group who are in the room to come and sit on the stage, as well as our two keynote listeners, Simon and Michelle, if they're in the room. Thank you. Folks, as these people come to the stage, let's just acknowledge that these people here, well, I think Michelle is the only person not actually part of the reference group, but these are all the people, all with disabilities and lived experience, who were the group designing, deciding, leading and helping to shape this conference, the first in Western Australia and in Australia and perhaps in the world, entirely led by people with disabilities. So can you please give them all a huge round of applause? Okay, so very soon we're going to hear from our keynote listeners, Simon and Michelle. Before we do that, there's a few very important things for me to do. So this is an important time to thank the Department of Communities as the event partners for this conference who allowed this event to occur. We also appreciate the support of Lottery West as a key supporter of the event. I'm pleased to also thank our conference sponsors. Our silver sponsor was WA's Individualised Services. Our bronze sponsors, Relationships WA, @Chat and Job Life. Our Challenges Stream sponsor was Indigo, formerly known as Independent Living Centre WA. And our Sundowner sponsor, Technology for Ageing and Disability WA. Okay, so as I've just mentioned, and as you would remember, one of the many special things about this conference is we didn't appoint two keynote speakers so much as keynote listeners. And Michelle and Simon, their job was to observe the event and make sure the voices of people with lived experience disability were heard. They were to be producing a document following the event, and that will be available later. But right now, let's catch up with them, find out their work in progress. So please welcome Simon Chong and Michelle Sedgman.
Hello. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone that's here for being part of such a wonderful experience and a really great conference. It's been a really enjoyable 2 days. And I'm just basically going to rattle off some of the themes and keynote things that I noticed in the last 2 days. The first one I'll mention is energy. There's been a really great energy and, to use the hippie term, a great vibe in the conference and within the rooms that I've been visiting the last 2 days. And everyone seems to be really energetic and really pleased to be here and to be part of this groundbreaking event where everyone is really pleased to be part of something where you're amongst peers, and that's a word that's come up a lot. And they're about being amongst people who are genuine and know, whilst they might not have a same condition as you, but we all have a disability or know someone who does, or an illness or some kind of impairment, and that brings us all together. Like, we have a commonality. Whilst I noticed this morning when I was listening to the keynote speakers this morning, there was a great diversity in the room, a diversity of disability, a diversity of people with different cultures, backgrounds, sexuality and the like. There was amazing. And yet there was the commonality as well. So that was the other theme. The other big thing that I picked up on with the conversation I was having yesterday was that there was, as well as the energy that I was talking about, there was like a momentum. We have a great momentum as part of this conference. So we've all achieved a great deal, especially as a whole and as individuals and as advocates. but there's still a lot more to do. And that's why we participate in something like this, and that's why we encourage each other and we support one another. And there's been a lot of that in the last 2 days. There's been some great, really interesting conversations, and people are learning from one another. And people, I know a lot of people with disabilities don't like the word inspire, but people have been inspiring each other and empowering each other, and that's been really encouraging. So thank you very much.
G'day. Yeah, maybe a bit taller. Continuing on with what Simon has said and echoing some of the same themes, I wrote a little thing. Over the last couple of days, we have had the opportunity to meet some amazing people from all walks of life. It is such a privilege to be here and be part of this inaugural experience. When you create a space for people with disabilities to meet one another, share their experiences of the good, the bad, and everything in between, you create a space for change. It is so important to meet people where they are at. As a society, we could do so much more to break down the barriers between ableism and disability. Let's work together to bring change and empower one another to reach our goals. This conference has created the space where there are interpreters, support workers who go the extra mile. There's audio descriptions and wheelchair accessibility, which is beyond just the front door. We have managed to create a space that is actually accessible for all of us. Too often people are excluded because of the lack of accessibility, but by creating a space for accessibility, you're empowering one another to be included and stay connected. The conference has had people with disabilities presenting to one another with disabilities, which has been phenomenal in showing what can be done, and it raises the banner for what other things could happen later on. Some themes that have been echoed throughout the conference have been about how awesome it is to be able to communicate in our own way and to connect with one another. It has been noted about how awesome it is to not have to justify our existence or explain our quirks or what makes us unique in the way that we are. To recap some of the voices of people with disability, there are follows, so some quotes. You don't need to be someone's life lesson. Create a space where attitude is accessible and welcoming, as it's like, if you don't have, you can have a place that's accessible, and if you don't have the attitude of accessibility to go with that, then it's not a nice place to be. The importance of giving a person with a disability a voice and hearing them. We have had the opportunity to ask questions amongst ourselves or ask some of the experts. It's been life-changing and not life-ending. The energy of this event has been one of empowerment and positivity, because people with disabilities have been part of this whole process, and like from the beginning, during, and now that. It has been really good to see service providers here with a willingness to learn how to better connect with their clients. And that's something I've noticed across both the days, and you might have noticed it too. People are actually engaging with the content as well as engaging with one another. Having the balance of education, sharing, and creativity with the opportunity for people to share life hacks means that people can connect and communicate freely. This has started a momentum, so let's keep pressing forward and continue this and keep the connection going. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Simon and Michelle. And I'm going to go off page here just for a moment and say that as a person with disability, albeit one that is largely invisible most of the time, I've been truly honoured to be part of this and to see what Michelle was just talking about then and Simon was just talking about, the connection, the community, the being sort of one group of people together. It's been quite amazing for me personally. So thank you to you all. So It's time now. Just a quick reminder before I introduce our very our speaker to close everything off for today. After we wrap up, you're welcome to join us for a brief farewell drink in the bar, which had magically appeared behind the... It has appeared? Oh, it's going to appear down here. So magicians are going to come in and just make it appear. That's amazing. That's a bit... Oh, wow. Incredible. So now the soft drinks are free, but you will need to pay if you're on alcoholic beverages. It's not Christmas yet. From 5:30 p.m. in this space, the auditorium will be staging our finale show, Unapologetic. Now, this is a ticketed performance for those who have pre-booked only. So at 5:25 p.m, if you have booked performance, please move back into this space, ready for this show. If you didn't reserve a ticket, that's the time to head home and reflect on the great experience you've had with all of our love. After the performance, those people who do stay for the performance, you're welcome to head to the bar again for a sundowner, which will be sponsored by Technology for Aging and Disability WA, PWdWA. Folks, to close the conference now, I would like to invite forward People with Disabilities WA CEO Brendan Cullinan. Brendan joined People with Disabilities WA just a few months ago, and I'm pleased to introduce him to close the conference. Please welcome Brendan Cullinan.
Thank you, Paul. I won't be too long to keep you from the actual bar. So I know it's been a wonderful 2 days. And just to reiterate what I've heard so far just lately, this incredible that, and it's been an absolute privilege to spend the last 2 days hearing people's personal journeys and self-reflection or self-advocacy and about the achievement, but the challenges that they've had along that particular journey. So I think it's actually been quite wonderful to hear those stories, but also in relation to the messages that Simon and Michelle said, I suppose reflect on from an individual perspective and particularly from an organisational perspective, the work that still needs to be done in order to improve the way that we operate and provide and support the area of advocacy, both from an individual and from a systemic perspective. So there's a lot of work there still to be done, and that's a challenge for us as organisations in that particular space. As an advocacy organisation, it's been an absolute privilege to be able to provide this particular conference. And obviously what we'd like to do now is just acknowledge the people that have been the visionary people behind that and the instigators that's enabled this particular event to occur. And obviously to start off with that is obviously Sam Jenkinson from... as the person who had the vision to be the drive and instigator, not only behind this particular event, but the organisation for the last 5 years. So Sam, from everybody here, thank you very much. To our other members, Simon Chong for his involvement as well. Thank you very much. To Jackie Green, again, for her great work with the committee. Thank you to Kirsten for her work as well with the committee. To Jamin, who brought a young perspective to the committee, which was fantastic, so thank you very much. And last but not least, to Adam for your great work as well. Thank you very much. I'm not sure with Michelle, are we getting President Michelle as well? Yes? Yeah, fantastic. So Michelle, thank you very much for your work as a keynote. Listen to us. Thank you. Appreciate that. So this was really, nearly 12, 18 months in the making. So there was a lot of voluntary work, a lot of time put in by the committee. So just on behalf of everybody here, thank the committee for their hard work again. Now, with that also, I'd like to acknowledge Katrina Burkhoff and her fantastic team from Ebola Events and Training for... She's part of the vision from the start, and her staff have been absolutely wonderful for the last 2 days. So thank you very much for that. To my team, in particular, Vanessa down there, who's got RSI over the thumbs. She's been around posting multiple social media posts over the last 2 days. So Vanessa, thank you very much for that. It's greatly appreciated.
And walking up and down.
Yes, exactly. In high heels as well, which is fantastic. To our fantastic MC and Paul, thank you very much for keeping things on track and for your professional approach. Really greatly appreciated. And as Paul mentioned, the great financial support that we've had from Department of Communities, Lottery West, our sponsors, have been greatly appreciated. And also the fantastic guests that we've had over the last 2 days as well that have had to leave already, but really appreciate their support as well from that side. So into the future, there's something under Lisa's leadership, and there's something from the committee and management, from their vision as well with regards to this particular conference. We'll obviously look forward to, probably in 2 years' time, I think it takes probably 12 to 18 months to look at another conference, but I'm sure we'll be keen to continue on with the tradition of this particular conference and look at great options going forward. So I think the evaluation process for that? Yep. Fantastic. So really appreciate your comments from the evaluation to help inform that going forward. Very good point. They've had a very solid workout for the last couple of days, so thank you very much. Yep. Very good point, Dara. To all the people who've helped out in the outside there, it's been fantastic. It's added to the whole atmosphere of the actual event. It's really appreciated. So just a reminder, People with Disabilities WA is a membership-based organisation. So membership is free. So it's a great way to stay connected for the organisation, stay connected as a membership, and to hear your views, which helps to continue the guide, the work that we do, but also in relation to what we can contribute to the sector. So if you'd like to be a member, I'd encourage that. There are forms here for you to complete, or you can complete online. So that's a free process. So I encourage you to become a member of the organisation. And with that, I think that basically wraps it up. So I'll declare the actual conference closed. Thank you very much for your attendance for the last 2 days. It's been really appreciated. Thank you for your support of the organisation. Please stay and enjoy a drink. And thank you very much.
Folks, as you heard Brendan say, that he has brought this conference to a close. So I'll see you at the bar or not, no pressure. And please, one last round of applause for everybody, mentioned or not, who made this conference happen. Please, put your hands together. Thank you, folks.